Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. I'm Sarah Jane. This is Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls on Gift of Healing TV. And our topic this evening is crying. This evening, because that's what it is here in the UK for me while I'm doing this, is crying. So I'm going to start with some words that came to me. I work with the dragons, or the dragons work with me, whichever way you want to put it. Allow your tears to clean the windows of your soul. And I believe what they're saying is crying is good. It washes away what's not meant to be there anymore. It clears away the debris. So cry. Do cry. I would say this to anybody, but I would also say, think about the feelings as you are crying. If they are feelings of clearing, of letting go, go for it. Absolutely go for it. But if you find yourself going into poor me, I would ask you to think about that. Personally, if I found myself going into poor me with tears, which hopefully I wouldn't do these days, but I'm sure I have done on plenty of occasions in the past, they're not healthy tears. You know, that's looking and seeking for attention. But absolutely, it is okay to cry, to let those feelings out. Now, I found quite, and of course it is about letting those feelings out. And right, which is the one I'm looking for now, because there's another one. Where is it? Crying is a way your eyes speak when your mouth can't explain how broken your heart is. And that's a quote from the quote today. Take a guess, that's on Twitter. And yes, there are times when it's actions that do speak louder than words. And tears are a form of communication. So, as I said, I would never ever say to anybody, don't cry. Absolutely let it out. It is so important, because otherwise you find yourself bottling what it is, holding back. And all that does is fester because you never deal with it. So whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you're young, whether you're old, it is not a matter of big girls and big boys don't cry. That's, to me, not healthy. Overdoing it isn't healthy either. But crying is something that is really positive and cleansing. So not only shouldn't you stop yourself, you shouldn't stop others. And I remember some years ago being in an event. It was sort of more of a training event to do with sound energy, which those of you that know me know that I work with sound and with toning. And the person leading that workshop, it was very much a matter of, if anybody found themselves in a release of tears, that no one was to touch them, to say anything to them, was to just let them get on with it. And that is so true. It really is just a matter of, when somebody is crying, if you start talking to them, or if you start cuddling them, you take that energy, that power, that empowerment that those tears are giving them away from them. You know, how many times has somebody given you a cuddle when you've started crying and you've stopped crying maybe too soon? Now, excuse me, don't get me wrong. One of my great nephews at the weekend, bless his cotton socks, he wasn't particularly well, and his younger brother, while I was over there supporting with some sound energy, which appears to have had some amazing effects, hit his head because he was trying to crawl under a table, and he started crying, which of course you would. It's shock. And so of course mothers will pick their children up, and I get it. And what we'd found with both the boys was my niece has a singing bowl, and I'd said to her, have you got one? And she said yes, a Tibetan singing bowl, the metal ones, and she'd got a donga with it. And so I'd found that donging it was really having an effect on the boys, a positive effect. They were fascinated by it. And so giving little one a chance to have some tears, Mum was cuddling him. And then I did the dong, and he stopped. Niece and I had was, she said, it's really good for them to cry. And I said, yeah, I get that. I really do, because it is really, really important for the energy of that shock to be released in the tears. And yes, of course, it is important that children know they're loved and they are cuddled. But we get to that point where actually it is more that you are an adult, and it is, you need to release, and actually somebody comforting you, so-called comforting you, can have a detrimental effect that you're either going to get worse and you're going to go into poor me, or you're going to stop crying before you should. And so, yes, we had a conversation about crying at the weekend. And I would say absolutely to everybody, if your child hurts themselves, fall over, they may not have a scratch on them, but that shock of that falling over, getting that cry out is really, really good. And if you have a shock as an adult, if you find yourself needing to cry for any reason, even if it's only tears of relief, do you know what? If it's tears of joy, let yourselves do it. It is so good for you. It really is. So don't hold back on the tears. Don't hold back. Cry, forgive, learn, move on. Let your tears water the seeds of your future happiness. Steve, I can't read my own writing here. That's nothing unusual, is it? Mara something. Maraboli, sorry. And again, just as with the dragons, them saying it washes the windows of our soul, so our eyes, and clears the dust and the debris out of the way. Those tears can water the seeds of our future. And there's another one similar to that here. Only I can't find it now. Where is it? You can't be strong all the time. Sometimes you just need to allow to let your tears out. Well, there's that one, which was the one I was looking for. Oh, well, can't find it. Never mind. It's one of those things. So there are several sayings out there about tears and how positive tears are, how positive crying is. And it's feeling what that energy behind that is. And if it's a feeling, a lovely positive energy, and you can think, yes, actually, I'm watering the seeds of my future. I'm cleaning the windows to my soul. I'm helping myself to see things more clearly. And when you let go of those energies that you need to, whether they're the shock, the hurt, the pain, when you do that, you can move on with your life, having let it go. And it's also allow those tears and thank those tears for being that means of letting go. Now, sometimes you may get a sob that doesn't produce any tears, but it is an energy that lets things go. And why? And I say that because it happened to me one day, and I can't remember what it was to do with. I was in my lounge one day, and suddenly this almighty sob just burst out of me, and that was it. That was totally it. I wasn't aware of anything going on, and I just looked up and I said, thank you, whatever that was. I've just let something go. And that is how positive crying and tears are. So they don't necessarily have to be tears, but allow yourself to let the stuff go. And crying is a brilliant way of doing that. And although this one last saying doesn't say anything about tears, I hope it will speak to you, because I think it is relevant. Be nice to yourself. It's hard to be happy when someone is mean to you all of the time. Christine Arilo. And I apologize if that's said wrong. Don't be mean to yourself. How can you be happy when you're constantly being mean to you? So catch yourself. Next time you think something or say something about yourself, and don't get me wrong, I get it. I totally get it. I used to be the first one to say anything so that I said it before anybody else did. Now I try very hard not to say anything against myself. In fact, praise for self. So next time you have a good cry about something, and you know what, even if it's a weepy film that makes you cry, enjoy the energy of that and be grateful to yourself, praise yourself, love yourself. And I hope that has helped. And yes, this is all my thinking on it. So if you wish to email me, if you wish to comment under the YouTube video, feel free to, giftofhealingtv@gmail.com. Put a comment on the website, giftofhealingtv.com. Check out all the other thoughtful nuggets and pearls and all the interviews, meditations, exercises, panel discussions that we've got on the website. Go and check them all out. Enjoy what we share. And I forgot to bring up what we're doing next week. Rejection is what we're doing next week. That's the topic for next week. I've had to remember that because I forgot to put my piece of paper up. Anyway, have a wonderful week, folks. I hope you will join us again next week, and I hope you will enjoy looking at all our thoughtful nuggets and pearls. Not all just from me. There are a few other shares on. Love, peace, and light to you all. Namaste.